What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing tonight? Hope y'all having a good night tonight. It's a nice, lovely, cool night here in Long Island, New York. Trying a different angle too tonight. I'm tired of setting my phone up on the dash here. It usually falls on me, so setting it up on the door windowsill here. See how that goes for me. Kind of like this angle. It's kind of a cool angle. Eventually, I'll break down and get like a cell phone holder or whatever. Put it in the center console or in the center of my dash. But I don't know. If it ain't broke, why fix it? I kind of like doing it like this, and I'm kind of a cheapskate too. But anyways, on to the topic I have in mind tonight. Support. We need to start showing more support within the LGBTQ plus community. You know, it's far too often am I seeing and hearing about jealousy leading to toxicity, leading to damage to relationships, both romantic, platonic, friendships, and otherwise. You know, and that needs to stop, because that's only holding everybody back. It's only holding the community back. You know, and it needs to stop, like right now. All the time I hear things like when so and so is able to get some surgeries or get an operation done to help with their gender dysphoria and to help with their transition. You know, other people will talk shit about it. Other people who are trans, who should be in support, but because they weren't able to get that particular operation or surgery yet, they get jealous and they want to talk shit about that person and talk shit about the surgery they have. They'll say something like, "Oh, you did too much," or "They took too much off," or "They added too much," or whatever, just to instill, you know, toxicity because you're jealous because you weren't able to get it yet. Or relationships, somebody will get with somebody who's is absolutely great and wonderful for them, but because other people are lonely and single, they want their friend to be lonely and single too, so that they could be, you know, misery loves company, you know, and that sort of thing. That it needs to stop. It's got to stop happening because it's just holding everybody back. It makes the community look bad. It's just not good all the way around. There have been some really great things get ruined because of jealousy. Jealousy leading to toxicity, leading to false narratives and lies and manipulations that just destroy things. Relationships, friendships, you know, potential, you know, LGBTQ plus panels being created that were not created because of somebody wanting to date somebody and they couldn't date that particular somebody, so they got jealous and talked shit about the main person trying to start this panel, and they got taken down. It got shut down. It doesn't exist now. Something that could have been very, very good for the community doesn't exist now because of jealousy. I won't go too much into that. It's kind of a hot topic, but it happened a few years ago. And I hear about this stuff all the time. All the time within the community. It happened to me. I once had a relationship with somebody who was in the showbiz, and because I wasn't a loud partier type, all of her friends got together and talked shit about me because I refused to do drugs and drink excessively and all this other stuff. I didn't quite mesh in with their group. I got rejected, basically, by them. And then it wasn't the only thing that led to the downfall of this relationship that I had a few years ago, but it definitely was a big part of it. And the thing is my story is not special. I wish it was, because then that means that this stuff doesn't happen all the time in the community, but it does. It happens all the time. My story's not special. I've met several guys who had similar stories. That's just how it goes. And it needs to stop. It needs to not be going that way. But, and I'm going to make a part 2 of this, because I got more to say about this. For sure. But enough about the negativity. I want to do what I'm trying to promote. I want to show some support. So I made a lot of friends through the YouTube channel, and I've met a lot of guys who are like me, who are open about dating, trans women. We're transamorous. Amorous means love. So basically, trans love. Which, if you lay it out like that, it kind of doesn't make sense. It does, but it doesn't. I am a transamorous man. I am a trans love man. Trans loving man. Okay, that makes sense. But anyways, I've met several of these guys, and they're getting into relationships, or they're about to get into relationships. They're talking to somebody, and they're getting real serious about it. And I love hearing about that. And every time I hear about that, instead of me trying to conjugate lies and deceit and manipulations, I support them. I tell them, man, if she makes you happy, or if they make you happy, go for it. Do it. And I've met a lot of their significant others, and they're wonderful people. They got level heads, and and they're in a good place in life, mentally, and ultimately it could be a wonderful thing for both parties involved, for both my friend and his new girlfriend. I want to give a personal shout out to a new friend of mine. We met in person for the first time. I want to say over a month ago. His name is Mike Brooklyn. Oh, his podcast name is Mike Brooklyn. You can find him on several various social medias. I don't remember all of them. I think Spotify is one of them, but he's got his podcast set up on several of them. His name is Mike Brooklyn, and he is an open transamorous man like me, and he has a new love in his life. They just recently moved in together. I'm not going to put her name out there because I'm not sure what her status is on all. I mean, she seems pretty active in the social media, but I don't want to assume. But I know Mike is real active, so I could throw his name out there. I don't think he'll mind. But yeah, shout out to him. And I met him and his girlfriend Sunday. She seems like a wonderful person. They seem really happy together. I was the awkward third wheel, the creeper cowboy. We took some pictures to get together, and I was kind of in the back photo bombing all of them. I was just, I'm not, I don't know why. I've never been big on smiling in pictures, so I'm just kind of like wearing my cowboy hat in the background. Looking like a creeper, with my sunglasses on. But nah, I don't think I look like a creeper. I was just kind of, probably a little awkward, but that's okay. It's okay to be a little awkward. Nothing wrong with it. But anyways, and I'm all in support of him. And I've had several guys reach out to me, and they say that they have found love, that they're dating somebody. And a big part of my channel, because I found your channel and it led to me finding this, and it got me thinking on this and that, and they thank me, which I am shocked and surprised that I had the ability to have such an influence on somebody like that. And I'm happy that I'm able to do some good, for the community, trans or otherwise, and that's what I'm trying to do here with this YouTube. I'm trying to promote positivity. I'm trying to give support. Because there were times I didn't have support. And it got me to some dark places. Because of the oppression and the ignorance and just flat out hate against people within the community, But, yeah. But yeah, shout out to, and it's not just Mike, to the other guys too. I've met some of these guys in person, and they're starting relationships. They're talking to girls that's getting serious, or they're in a relationship now, and I'm just ecstatic to hear about these things. That's what my channel is about, and it's nice to see. Even if my channel wasn't even involved, they knew nothing of me, and they found this person. It's still nice to see and hear about, And for me to throw my two cents in them, yeah, man, if she's good for you, man, go for it. Continue on. Instead of me trying to, because, I could get jealous. Oh, I'm single now. I don't want to be single all by myself. Hell, I'm cool with being single by myself. If all my buddies and brothers are have somebody by their side, I'm by myself, that's cool. Shit. Hell, that might be beneficial to me because now that they got with somebody, now they can turn around and say, oh man, Corey, he's all single. We got girlfriends now. Well, I don't have to go chase women now because I got my woman. Let's help Corey out, you know? You got to think about it on the positive way. But no, I digress. You know, enough funny business. But yeah, we got to start showing more support for one another. We got to stop getting jealous and ruining things and talking people away from really good relationships, dating, romantic relationships or friendships or otherwise. We got to stop doing that with the community. We got to stop oppressing ourselves. We get enough of that from the outside world. Got to start showing more support. But there's going to be a part 2 because I could go on and on about this because there's some other things I want to focus on more within the on the guy side of things within the transamorous community, because we're starting to get a little bit of a community. It's really cool. But anyway, shout out to Mike Brooklyn. Shout out to another friend of mine, Chris Patterson. He's got the Men Like Us podcast. I've been on a few of his episodes or shows or videos, however you want to put it, and he's allowed me to be a part of his wonderful. It's a closed group. It's only for men only. It's called the Men Like Us Tribe. It's an online Facebook group. I mean, obviously it's online, but yeah, and it's a support, and it's a legitimate support group. A lot of these other trans amorous or men who date trans women support groups, they're not really support groups. They might have started out that way, and there probably is some support within the group, but they've turned into like dating groups now. Because then I'm part of a couple of these groups, and there's some supportive things that happen on there, but a lot of times it's somebody posts a picture. I'm so and so from Tennessee, looking for a girl, looking for a guy, and it's like, okay, cool. I hope you find love, but that's not really what this group's about. There's actually dating groups for that, apps, not Grindr. That's not really an app for dating. I mean, you could date on it. I've actually had a relationship start off of that, but it's not really for that. If you find a relationship on there, that's like 1 in 100,000. But anyways, I digress. But no, we need to start showing more support. But yeah, I'm gonna rephrase that. Shout out again to Mike Brooklyn. You can look him up on his podcast. I know he's on Spotify. He's on a few other of the social medias. And then shout out to the Men Like Us Tribe podcast. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook. But the Men Like Us Tribe, like I said, is a closed group. But there's ways of finding the information out there. But yeah, shout out to you guys, and thank y'all for watching. And yes, there will be a part 2 to this. Among a part 2 to other videos, I'm going to be making a part 2 to Dear Gay Men. I've had a lot of people have some questions, and there's some people who misinterpreted what I was trying to say about that. So I am going to be making a part 2 to that as well. So, but anyways, if you watched this far, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. And as always, hit me up through my email. I have an email account set up specifically for this channel. It's stated in the About. So if you click on the About section of the channel, I have an email account. It's not spelled the same way as Librium in the channel because that name was taken, so I had to kind of chop it up a little bit. Anyways, there's an email account for this. I do have an Instagram, but I'm not real active on it. I'm trying to get active on it, and I'll also start a TikTok. The @ is cdella93, but the TikTok name is Librium Curatate, the same as the name of the channel. So I'm not sure how you would find me. You can type in @cdela93, which is like abbreviation of my first and last name and the year I was born. A lot of people do that. But anyways, yeah, show more support. Look those guys up, and look me up on Instagram and on my email account. Anyways, thank you for watching. Peace to you. Hope y'all have a good night.